Hello and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Last time, we almost made it into orbit around the beautiful planet of Kerbin. Unfortunately, we went in the wrong direction and it messed up everything. It was unfortunate. Anyway, Bob Kerman is probably going to orbit this time. To start out our amazing episode, we shall begin by making sure that we have this mission. Orbit Kerbin. Okay. It expires in 2 days, 3 hours, 57 minutes, and 33 seconds, which is quite a long time, given that we're going to do it in about 5 seconds. Okay. We need to get rid of a couple of these things, because I don't even know how to complete these missions. So what I'm going to say is, this one, this poor research and development, cancel the contract. We've lost some money, but it's okay. We can live through it because we're going to orbit Kerbin. Oh yeah, mate. Oh yeah. So we have 62,000 big ones or small ones. I don't actually know how large or small Kerbin money is, so it might be tiny ones. I don't know. Anyway, we have 62,000 of them, and we are going to build a rocket of amazing proportions. Starting, of course, with whatever this is. Should we start with whatever that is? No, I don't think so. I'm going to get rid of it. Be gone, Mark 1 command pod. You shall be replaced by a new command pod. The Mark 1 cockpit. A cockpit of unknown proportions. Because this is the most technological flight we will have ever flown, ever, in any Kerbal mission, as of yet. Okay, we're gonna put some radially mounted parachutes on there. Standard. We'll throw on some science apparati, like the Science Junior Mark 73? I don't know, I just made that up. I don't know what it's called, it's a science-y thing. And we're going to dang it. I'm pretty much the commander of a science unit. And the best way that I can explain what our science equipment is, it's that it's a science-y thing. Oh, I'm sorry, Bob Kerman, you're doomed. It's over, he's gonna die. It's gonna be a terrible death. I'm so sorry, Bob Kerman. It's over. Good luck, mate. Okay, we're gonna put the heat shield on there. I swear he's not gonna die. I swear he's not gonna die. If he does die, you can tell me, you're a fool, mate. Why'd you kill him? And I'll be like, probably because he's a terrible creature that deserves the death that was brought to him. Which is terrible, because he's not. Bob Kerman's awesome. Bob Kerman's a good man. He understands science and things such as that. I'm gonna put a stack decoupler on there. I don't know what I'm talking about either. Don't even ask. I don't know. Okay, that's on there. We're gonna put radial decouplers. Boom. And then we shall put 3 more Thumper solid fuel booster engine things. Perhaps we'll complete the mission that revolves around Thumper solid fuel booster engine things. There is no promises there. I still don't exactly know why we didn't get it to begin with. But it doesn't matter. We're going into space. If you're going into space, you don't have to worry about the fact that you didn't complete a mission. You only have to worry about completing your mission that's coming up. Because if you don't complete that, you're probably going to die. Well, most likely, I mean. Not necessarily. Valentina Kerman failed many times and didn't die. But ultimately, she did die in the end. It's unfortunate, and it happened, and everyone is sad for her, except of course for Bob Kerman, who then got his chance to actually fly into space. So we are actually opening an inquiry into whether or not Bob Kerman caused her death. It has to be kept on the down low, hush-hush situation, unfortunately, because it's a very questionable endeavor thing. Okay. This is our spacecraft. We need to work on the staging. So both the struts that will hold it up and the 3 initial rockets need to fire at the same time. This is pretty much a very similar craft to what we did last time because it seemed to work fairly well. So we've got those rockets. Then we've got the radial decouplers that will release these rockets. And then we've got the main rocket in the center right here that will fire and bring us farther into space than ever we have gone before. Then we will have a stack decoupler, which will then go into the solid fuel booster with all of this solid fuel. Then we will decouple everything, glide gently down to Earth in a flaming ball of death, and then release the parachutes and hope that those hold. I'm very concerned about those parachutes. I'm gonna add more parachutes. Very concerned. I don't want you to die, Bob Kerman. The last thing I want is for those parachutes to open and they just rip off. There we go. We got 4 parachutes. That's more than enough. More than enough. Okay. So this shall be called Orbital Conqueror Mark 72. It is the 72nd Orbital Conqueror. Of all the Orbital Conquerors that have ever existed, this is the 72nd one. And it has to be accepted that it shall orbit this planet brilliantly and efficiently. Where is Bob Kerman? We cannot have Bill Kerman. Nobody cares about Bill Kerman. You're an engineer. You build it. You don't fly it, Bill Kerman. You're not allowed on this vessel. Be gone. Okay, Bob Kerman's here. Very good, Bob Kerman. Prepare for the maiden voyage of the Orbital Conqueror Mark 72. Bob Kerman. Godspeed, you fool. 3, 2, 1. Ignition! Oh, the dust cloud is immense. Okay. We are currently flying. There's definitely no SAS module. Just had to check to make sure. And we are flying into space. Bob Kerman, of course, is well acquainted with space. He's been there many times. Many millions of times Bob Kerman has been into space. It's only been like 3 or 4 times, which all ended with him coming back to Earth quite quickly, actually. It's somewhat unfortunate. Oh, God, you're slightly going out of control, Bob Kerman. It'd be nice if you could control your vessel, you fool! Okay, release. Fire the next rocket. We're trying to keep control of the vessel. It's not working out particularly well. It's not working out at all, actually. Bob Kerman. Bob Kerman, you need to grab the controls with your hands, not your feet, because it looks like you're controlling them with your feet, you crazy man. And just wrest control of the vessel. We have wrested control of the vessel. We are actually in a pretty nice path at this point. We are still firing our Thumper solid fuel booster. Good job, Bob Kerman. We're going to test you on that later. You need to know what it's called. If you don't know what it's called, I'm going to be very mad at you, Bob Kerman. We've released the Thumper solid fuel booster. We're going to check our orbital path. That's not bad at all, mate. Not bad at all. Okay. Do we have any concept of where we need to fire in order to create an orbital pathway? Let us see. I don't know what these pink things are. I have no clue what these pink things are. What are they? My lord. Well, we could fire in the direction of this pink thing and see what happens. We're gonna need to go back to staging. Fire off that and see what happens as we burn. Nothing much. So we have ceased burning. We need to expand our orbit. We need to expand it. How do we do this? I'm going to fire into this. This thing, I believe, is our direction of flight. Yeah, that's working. You can see how this is our projected flight path. And it is expanding until it circles all of Kerman. It shall be brilliant! At which point we'll stop firing so that Bob Kerman doesn't inevitably get stuck forever in space, which would be unfortunate. I don't think Bob Kerman wants to get stuck forever in space. Oh, no. No! Mates, a terrible thing has happened. Bob Kerman! You ran out of fuel, Bob Kerman! That's unfortunate. Well, Bob Kerman has run out of fuel. He cannot make orbit. Bob Kerman, you are a failure of an astronaut. You need to think about what you've done. You need to understand that we as a space department are now very disappointed in your actions. I cannot believe Bob Kerman. That poor creature. Well, we are flying back to Earth anyway. Let's see. It shall be quite a while. What we're going to do is speed up until we get to our apoapsis. Apoapsis? Bleh, I don't even know. Pretty much this is the farthest point between the surface of Kerbal and our particular orbit, which isn't actually an orbit, it's just a arcing flight path that will inevitably lead to the doom of poor Bob Kerman as he hurtles back to Earth. But, that's the farthest point between our ship and Kerbal on our flight path. There's also something called a periapsis, which is the closest point. Currently, our periapsis is somewhere in the center of Kerbal, which means we're going to crash directly into it. Isn't that great? Bob Kerman! You need to understand. You can't do this. Okay. We're keeping the data. The sky is below us. Bob Kerman, you're a scientist. You're supposed to make smarter observations than that. Then we've got the materials bay. What do we have? The microgravity has greatly affected the growth of the crystalline structures. Very nice. We're going to get 1.2 science for that, which is disgusting. And then we have a thermometer. Where is it? Right here. Thermometer. We need to get to the thermometer. Oh, I don't want... Ah, there we go. The too hot thermometer. Log the temperature. We have gotten no science from this. Bob Kerman, this is the most pathetic attempt you have ever done to get science in space. We shall release the engine and glide gently back to Earth. By glide gently back to Earth, I mean we're going to die. Good luck, Bob Kerman. You are doomed to plummet. Oh, look at it. He's moving so quickly. He's moving so far, he doesn't even know. Bob Kerman, do you understand what's going on here? Oh, my lord. Bob Kerman, you are tumbling out of control. Bob Kerman, you probably should not be tumbling out of control as you enter the atmosphere. That sounds like a bad idea. Here we go. The heat shield is doing its job, Bob Kerman. Trust your feelings! And... oh my lord, he's making quite a re-entry, isn't he? Bob Kerman, you're on fire, and I'm not meaning that in a good way. I mean, you're actually legitimately burning. You need to reconsider. Okay, we need to wait until the Mach effect goes away, because I don't want Bob Kerman to die. And last thing I want is for poor Bob Kerman to die. There we go. Fire off the parachutes! Bob Kerman, you shall return safely to the land, and the land shall accept you. And with any hope you won't die. You never know, the seagulls could come back and just snip away at those. That would be so bad. Bob Kerman would be like, "Curse you, seagulls!" as he dies in a blaze of glory. The fireballs, of course, reaching to the stratosphere. and being seen all across the world as all Kerbans collectively shed a single tear for the greatest astronaut from all of Kerban. Bob Kerman. Rip, man. R.I.P. Rest in pieces. All across the countryside. At least he'll be fertilizer for the next generation of shrubbery. Okay, we are coming close to the land. Soon enough we shall see if Bob Kerman blows up in a blaze of glory. If you do, Bob Kerman, I'm going to laugh. Perhaps next time we should get rid of the Science Junior Mark 76 thing. Oh, there we go. Well, Bob Kerman, good job. You have succeeded. He has survived yet another flight into space and feels himself happy for having done so. Recover the vessel, bring it back in, and we shall chastise Bob Kerman for not being in orbit right now. Oh my lord. Okay, we got 1.4 signs, getting us to a grand total of 24 science. Amazing, Bob Kerman. That's a disgusting quantity of science! You failed us. Recover the pieces from the landing pad. There we go. We lost like 14,000 Kerbin bucks from that, which is unfortunate. Okay. Well, Bob Kerman has returned from his attempted orbital flight. It was better than the last orbital flight, but that's not saying much because the last one was a disaster. This one's okay. It's okay. We are... Next time, what we're probably going to do is, instead of putting a little Science Mark Junior capsule of death, this thing, whatever it is. Oh lord, I took off the entirety of the rocket. I'm gonna get in close so you can see it. The Science Junior Mark 72 of Doom, this one right here. We're going to not have it at all. That should reduce the overall weight of the craft, thereby potentially making it quite a bit easier to get into orbit. You like that, don't you? I love it personally. It sounds amazing. So we're going to do that. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Next time, I already told you. If you really want to know what's going to happen next time, don't save. Come on now, it's already been saved. If you really want to know what's going to happen next time, I mean, it's YouTube. You can just rewind the video a little. It won't be a big issue. I mean, you can just go down to the bottom of your screen and just click back a little while. I'm not going to say it again. I can't barely even remember what I said to begin with. I don't know what I'm talking about. You don't know what I'm talking about. Everyone's confused. That's just how it works. Anyway, thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.